Okay, welcome back to part 3 of the Planning Center online calendar tutorial. So on this one, we're going to go a little bit more in depth with the details of the event. So we've already created an event here, the Women's Prayer Breakfast, on June 4th at 10 o'clock. So we're just going to double click on this one to open that event. Now on this first tab, we have the overview. This is going to show us our schedule and then the rooms and resources that we need for that event. The next tab is activity. This shows things that are happening within Planning Center, like leaving messages. You can leave comments and messages between yourself and others discussing this actual event. The files tab, you can add files to the event if you have things that you want someone to have access to. For example, we can upload a sign-in sheet and it'll be accessible here so that someone else can print it out directly from the event without needing to have their email or them send you an email or vice versa. And then the last tab is the settings tab. This is where you edit all the things that are visible by members of the church or people who are attending the event. You got the summary, that's going to be client facing, or shall I say outside facing, and then notes is for internal use. And this is where you change the visibility and then the description down here, and you can add an event image, and that's an outward facing image that you want people to see. So let's go back to the overview tab, and we're going to do a little bit of adding on to the schedule itself. So the breakfast itself, we'll just pretend that it's from 10 a.m. to 11:30, but let's say you need an hour to do some kind of prep for that. So first thing we want to do is edit this. You go over here to the right, you have the green edit button here. So we're going to click on that, and now you see here it has setup. So we're going to add a setup time. Click that, and it pre-populated 9 to 10. This can be whatever time that you want, but it pre-populated an hour, so we're gonna go with that. So from 9 to 10 is our setup, and then we're gonna add in a teardown time. So we're gonna click that, and it gave us an hour after for teardown time. That way the overall time is from 9 to 12:30, and we won't have any double booking or people running into each other because it wasn't enough time allowed in between the events. Now, rooms and resources. So let's say that we want to actually move this to the annex. So I'm going to click here and move that over to the annex. And then the resources that we may want is sound. Let's say you want to play some music. Or maybe you want the video board. So we don't necessarily need to do anything with the room, but we do need resources. So in this second section here, you can click browse, and then if you look under audio video, it's gonna say sound system annex. You also have sound system for sanctuary, but we're not in the sanctuary, so we're gonna do sound system, and then we're gonna find the video board. Oh, I have to create the video board, but that's fine. So we're going to say video player, so we're going to click that as well. When you do the video player, if you notice, it's going to have a warning here: required questions, missing answers. So it's asking you a question: how will you provide the video? So the question that it's asking you is, if you're needing a video player, what will your video source be? Will you be sending a video through email? Will you have the video on a thumb drive? Is it on a DVD? Or will you be using something like YouTube? So let's just click on the website address because we're going to use YouTube. That way we can prepare accordingly. Once those are added to the room and you hit save changes, it's going to send a message to the departments that need to address those and approve those. But for now, we're not going to save. We're just going to go on over to the files tab, and let's say we want to add that file. So I click file, And then I'm going to choose here and then go to where the file is. So I have something on the desktop here somewhere. So I have a file that I created, and it's called the sign up sheet. Please print 5 copies. Let's just do that. So now that's saved in there, and someone can easily come here, click on that, and then they can download that file and do what they need to do with that. We're going to go over to the settings. For the most part, you aren't going to change too much of this because it's already been done when you create the event. The event owner is done. The summary was done. Notes is if you have any internal notes that you just want to add to the event for later reference. Registration URL. This is if you're having this meeting over a Zoom call or Teams or any kind of virtual meeting. So you would click this, and then you click custom URL, and then type in that link for that meeting. And then event image. So we want to do this. I have an image in there that I want to add, coffee and Bible time. So that's the image that's going to show to everyone viewing the event that might want information about the event. And again, we want to leave this hidden unless we have been approved and need to turn that to published so that everyone can see the event. And then if you want to add any additional information to the description so that everyone looking at the event can have the information, they can see that here. Then we click save on that side. And that is pretty much everything you need to know about adding details and additional changes to your event. So we go back to this first tab and want to make sure that it's saved. So we're going to hit save changes to this date. Now this is kind of a warning page, kind of confirmation page that shows you everything that you have changed. So location has changed from the main campus to the annex building. Schedule we've updated, so we've added in the setup and we've added in the teardown. So that means the overall time has changed. And then the announcement and sound system and video player, that stuff has been added. Announcement stayed the same. So yes, we want to make those changes. Now that it's been saved, we can click the events tab again to get back to the main calendar. And then we can hover over this, click one time, and it kind of gives you the basic information about that event. I hope this video helps along with the other 2 videos. If you have any questions, then you make sure to get with someone and we can help you get through whatever troubles you're having.